Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Armando Sanchez. Thank you for being here on our program. Today's show, we will interview President Diana Z. Rodríguez from the San Bernardino Valley College area here in Southern California. And the reason we're going to bring her on show is because we're going to highlight a very important event that's upcoming here on the campus of California State University. It is the ninth, that's incredible to believe. It's the ninth event of LEAD, which is a program that is put together by Enrique Murillo, Jr., PhD, on campus, and wonderful staff as well, that all of them put together this conference. And this year is Latinas. It's about women and the observation of women in education as well. Very important topic. And President Diana Rodríguez is going to be one of the panelists. She is heading the panel, the 1:15 p.m. panel, Latina College Administrators, Triumphs and Challenges, Leaving a Legacy. Now, the idea here is that the LEAD conference tries to highlight major issues that confront education here in California, but it also sends a resounding note worldwide. Here in California, the population of the Latino students has exceeded more than half of the population. So the future workforce in California will be Latinos, and more diverse areas also of bringing in people from other countries as well. California is very open, very inviting to bring students of diversity and also its perspective and its views, and this is one of the great things about the program. Now, particularly, there is an issue that we need to see more Latinas in the area of administration. The idea is that we need to put people who are sensitive to the issues, to the problems, and the search for solutions. And implementing policy into campuses is not always easy because it's always a new perspective of how to approach the issue. And so we're very happy again to have President Diana Z. Rodríguez on the program. Again, the show will be, the panel will be at 1:15 p.m. and the date of the activity will be on March 29th, 2018, on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino. You can find information if you go to the website, and you'll discover all the LEAD programs that are ongoing. And the whole day is about women's in education. For example, the 9:50 panel will be Latina Pathways in P20 Systems and Beyond, answering the call. And I've been getting notices about other programs as well. So it's a very exciting day to have this. And again, we congratulate all the members of California State University Latino Education and Advocacy Days LEAD organization for putting these events together. So once again, we're thrilled to have President Diana Rodríguez on the program. She's now with us, and we'll talk about what the direction is of her panel and of the day as well. So let's bring her on board. Good morning, Ms. Rodríguez.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, very well. We've been talking about the background of LEAD coming up on March the 29th, and I understand you're leading the 1:15 panel, Latina College Administrators, Triumphs and Challenges, Leaving a Legacy. We're not going to go into all the details about what every presenter will say, but tell us why why you picked this topic and what's the direction of the day.
Well, the reason we chose this topic, Latinas in Leadership, is because we find that there's actually a gap in Latino leadership, not only in California but throughout the United States. And we find that most of the Latinas in leadership are within the community college system, and even at that, there are so few. So we put together a panel consisting of both women that are in the community college sector and at the four-year sector to kind of give their perspectives on what challenges that they faced coming up through the ranks, the challenges that they face on the job, and also what great opportunities that they have encountered and are fostering at their prospective institutions. So between all of the women on the panel, I think there's just a wealth of information, and I'm hopeful that those in attendance will get a lot out of it.
Well, let's take that issue one step further. When you say get a lot out of it, here's I'm envisioning a room full of women. You know, they're very excited, very anxious to be there, picking up information. As they're listening, what information or advice should they obtain, and what should they do with it?
Well, you know, everyone's personal journey through their career is different. We're hoping that the message that comes across is that there is definitely a place for Latinas at the leadership table. And there may be struggles getting to that table. There may be different pathways to get there, and that's okay. The message that we're hoping to put out to the audience is that if this is something that you aspire to do, then go for it. There may be obstacles, you know, but there's ways to overcome them. We're also hoping that folks walk away with knowing the importance of building relationships and reaching out to others within the communities to help them along this journey. Not necessarily a mentorship, although that would be fine as well, but sometimes as leaders, we forget that it's okay to reach out and talk to others who may have had a similar experience, and so we feel we try to go it alone. So we're hoping that we can inspire folks to reach out to other leaders, whether it be men or women, to help move their career forward and build those relationships. And also to truly remember that, you know, the work that we do is truly about lifting our communities, our respective communities, and how do we help Latinos in general, or the population, underrepresented populations in general, aspire to reach their goals. So I hope that answers your question.
Sure. The idea is that a lot of times I've been in conferences where the audience feels that these people are really wonderful, sharing great information, but somewhat inaccessible, that, you know, they can't really approach them and ask them, well, what else can I do? Where else can I go? But it sounds to me that that's not the case here in your panel.
No. What all of the panelists here are committed to be around throughout the day of the conference and to interact and talk with whomever, you know, may be interested in, and also to leave our information once we finish the panel, to leave our information for that folks can reach out to us. Sometimes it's, you know, it's a little challenging, I guess, or folks don't feel comfortable asking questions publicly. So we'll offer phone numbers, emails, and other contact information so that they can reach out to us. Our goal is to share our experiences and hopefully inspire other women to take on leadership roles within their own organizations. And it may not be education. You know, it may be in the transportation industry. It may be in law enforcement. Whatever it may be, we just hope that more women take on leadership roles and reach out to help others do the same.
I'm thrilled that this conference is happening. I think when I heard about it last year, I think it was fantastic. The idea was that what would happen if we don't see a greater representation of women, Latinas, in these organizations, whether it be public or private? What would you see happening?
Well, I would hope that would not be the case. But I think in doing so, whenever we're problem solving or creating policy or whatever it might be, I think without a woman's voice at the table, at least to provide input, we only hear one side of the story, right? And let me give you an example. in education right now, at least in the community colleges, there's predominantly female students on all of our campuses. And without having women leadership, whether it be the role of a president, a vice president, or a dean, or even on our boards, without having that, do we really understand, do we really get to know what the experiences are of our young women on campus? And can we make the best decisions for all of our students without having that representation at the table, especially in light of the majority of the students are women? That's not something that I would want, for my nieces, and other family members and so on. I would hope that everyone sees the value in having that voice, helping to design policy, and to implement the procedures that go along with those policies.
That opens my eyes a great deal, and seeing that your background also is not only in education, but it's also in business administration. You have an MBA as well, so you sort of share the views, and you bring in the experience of the corporate as well as the public domain as well. I don't want to extract from you any secrets or any great information you're going to share, because I know you and your panel will be really wonderful. And if you could mention who your panelists will be, and I'm going to sort of pick a little and sort of get to this. It says, if there's one or two pieces of advice you can give our listeners sort of to give us an insight of what the direction will be of the panel, I'd really appreciate it.
Sure. We have a fantastic group of panelists, and I'm so fortunate to call them friends and mentors. We have Naomi Ornelas, who's the Vice President of Student Services at Allen Hancock College on the Central Coast. We have Dr. Cynthia Olivo, who is also Vice President of Student Services at one of our largest community colleges in California, Pasadena City College. We have Dr. Rita Cepeda, who is a retired president and chancellor within our system, and just a true advocate for Latinas and Latinos and the underrepresented in general. And we also have Olivia Rosas, who is an associate vice president at Cal State San Bernardino, representing the four-year sector. Each of these women have very unique and dynamic stories to share with the audience. Their pathways to where they are, some traditional, some not very traditional, and I think that'll be enlightening to the group in that there is no one direct pathway to leadership. You just have to have the passion, the heart, and the grit, really, to keep moving forward on it. I wish I could share with you some of their stories, but I don't want to steal their thunder, so to speak.
No, that's fine.
But I think those that attend will be truly inspired by their message, and really about the steps that they've taken, the paths that they've walked. For many of them, it wasn't easy, whether it be family issues, the politics that entered into some of the decision making, etc. So I think it's going to be a fun panel. I think it's going to be full of information in the 45 minutes that we have to share, and knowing how powerful these women are. I mean, we could make a whole day seminar just on their stories. So I think it's going to be an amazing time.
I know a couple of them on your panel, Olivia Rosas being one of them, and they're just all powerhouses. I mean, they just really put it out like it is, and they're very open, very frank, and I know their words will touch many of the persons in the audience, and that's just really thrilling.
Yeah, and I think that, you mentioned that, and I think that's also something that the audience could look forward to is very frank conversation, and in some cases courageous conversation. It's we're going to treat it as a safe zone and just talk about, the realities of Latina leadership in education. Yeah.
Wow, that is really thrilling. And I'm very happy that it continues to be webcast globally as well. This will be the 9th event, and that's what one of the major events is. So the information is shared worldwide. It will be on demand. So if persons cannot be there, hopefully they can and meet all of you. But if they can't, they can access it. So through the information of going through the website at California State University, San Bernardino Lead Conference, they can find that information as well. Well, as we're ready to close, we're going to share out again an invitation to our public to attend, and I'd like to leave you with a few moments to have some closing statements on behalf of your wonderful panel, which is the 1:15 p.m. panel, Latina College Administrators, Triumphs and Challenges, Leaving a Legacy. And what I picked up from you is that what they'll pick up on this conference, as well as on an entire basis, will benefit any woman, any Latina, and males throughout any organization, the idea of being a leader. So this is part of the Latino Education Advocacy Days, organized for March the 29th, 2018. It is the 9th year that they do this. And again, an applause to everyone at California State University, San Bernardino, and also Dr. Enrique Murillo as well. So, Diana Rodríguez, your closing statements on this wonderful, wonderful panel.
Yeah, first off, let me just also thank Dr. Murillo, who did a fantastic job, continues to do a fantastic job with this conference. It is very much needed in our community. I'm excited to be hosting this panel of dynamic women. I encourage everyone to attend and or follow us along on the webcast, as you mentioned. I think that there is something here for everyone, and I think the fact that Dr. Murillo, that Dr. Murillo has the focus of this year's conference on women in leadership is just phenomenal. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to meeting everyone at the conference.
Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please attend. The event is free. It's an all-day event. It's on campus there. There is a parking arrangement as well to be on there. And, again, everything is supplied. There's area for eating. There's a wonderful booth area. But more importantly, what you will see there by going is you will see that the speakers also take time whenever they can to sit down in small groups. I've seen them in 5, 10. They'll sit down and have their own little session, and they share more information. But I like the term that I want to sort of emphasize that I think I heard from you, and it's the idea it's going to be an open dialogue, and there is a sense to be courageous and to feel safe and to talk amongst yourselves and to be able to walk away at the end of the day with something that begins into figuring out more the role of being a leader, and not something that just ends at the end of the day when sun goes down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. We've been talking to President Diana Z. Rodríguez from San Bernardino Valley College. There'll be authors there. There'll be Latinas of every walk of life, many, many personal experiences and backgrounds shared, and bring a real thick notebook because you're going to hear a lot of great things. I've attended most of them, and every time I'm in awe what valuable information each presenter brings to the table. So thank you very much, Ms. Rodríguez, for being on our program.
Thank you, Armando. I appreciate the invitation. You have a great day.
Igualmente. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Armando F. Sanchez, CEO, Armando F. Sanchez Productions. We've been highlighting one of the panels from the Latino Education and Advocacy Days event that is up and coming at the California State University, San Bernardino. Again, if you have any questions, please look up on the website, California State University, San Bernardino. Go to the lead area, and it'll give you the printout. You can also contact me at lsacnational@hotmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to pass on the information that I have about this wonderful organization. It is well worth to take the date. Go over there, spend all day, talk to wonderful people, I assure you, you will walk away a whole different person. All of us will share in the wealth of your movement as a leader. We all benefit from the changes you bring to all of us as well, because we all benefit with each other's cooperation. So un aplauso for the event, un aplauso for President Diana Z. Rodríguez as well. Thank you very much for being with us, and we'll look forward to our future programs. Adios.